Hello everyone, I am YoshinoArt and welcome to this new very cozy video. Some days ago I gave a look at 4 of your drawings of my community, my snakies, to fix some common art mistakes and give some very useful tips. I decided to leave this video longer and cozier, so make sure to grab a drink and maybe some snacks and let's get started. Okay, so the first submission is from CoreXion, and they said, sending in my NB tiefling Ranka. Who would have guessed? The purple on her tail is a sleeve, like an arm warmer but for her tail. She has a pale purple skin, 3 fingers and a thumb on each hand, and her feet are hooves. A smaller image shows how her horns wrap around her head. Review note: looking for advice on how to better do some of the shading, since oftentimes I'm a mess with getting the shading correct or do too much. Okay, so we're gonna focus on the shading. Damn, okay, very modern. Ranka Winter Eyes. I love the design, honestly it is pretty unique, with the skin color being a light purple and the eyes being white. I really like it. Okay, you said opinions on the shading, so we are ignoring the anatomy, the lines, just focusing on shading. Allora, one of the main things that I noticed right away is that you have light coming a little bit from different areas. Like on the face, the light is coming from this side. On the hair, it's coming from this side, but also a little bit from this side. The chest is having it from this side, while the torso is having it from behind. So we should probably try and understand a little bit more where we want the light to come from. I feel like from here it will make the most sense, since you have all of the legs and this part of the body shaded like that, so it will be the easiest to adjust it to look like from that side. I can start right away by adjusting the direction of the light by, for example, we can see here the chest has it, the light goes all the way from here, right? So in theory, probably on the torso as well, it should reach all the way here. So I think that you made the face like this with the light because you assumed that there will be this hair will cast a shadow on the face, right? But I'm not sure if it will cover so much of it. Ecco, and also the fact that we have a cast shadow that goes on this side of the nose doesn't make a lot of sense because it will be more like on this side. Maybe you could have a little shadow there, but I don't even know if it's necessary because you have a very simple style. Like adding too much shading to the face might make it look weird. This is the first time that I see this art, so I'm just trying to guess what would look good. I might do a little bit of testing here and there to decide what looks good and what doesn't. So if you see me changing my ideas, it's because I'm experimenting. Please be kind. We could probably also do the same thing, like here, the glove should probably have the shadow reaching more forward, since we're considering that the light is coming from this side. Same for here. Now we can focus a little bit on some more in detail stuff. For example, I can notice that it looks like the sleeves are much more detailed than the shirt. If this is a shirt that creates a lot of wrinkles here, probably it will create a lot of wrinkles also here, for example, where it tucks in the pants. Basically, I feel like you did an amazing job, honestly. You probably should have just, like, a lot of the times you think, like, oh, my drawing, I feel like it didn't come out good. But your only mistake is that you didn't continue. Like if you continued and added more details and stuff here and there, then you would have had a much cooler result just by continuing adding. What do you guys think? This is before and after. I tried to do improvement without changing the art or the art style. Yay! If you want to participate next time that I do an art review, or also you just want to hang out chatting while I draw, I rig models, and even sometimes play games, make sure to check out my streams. I stream regularly on YouTube and on Twitch. I am leaving the link in the description and I hope to see you there as well. Now let's move on to the second drawing. For the next one we have Lavaboy, which made a fan art of me. I think this was probably my favorite picture I drew last year, but do you have any advice for making the hair or body textures a bit better? Like tips for more long hair strands, making it more flowy, or adding shine highlights to the skin and hair? Or a bit of advice on anything else you would think would be good to practice more? Okay, let's see. Getting good at the long hair strands. I see. If I start looking at the head structure, it's easier to understand where the hair should come from. We have one of the pigtails here and more or less one of the other pigtails here. And the bangs starting from here. I feel like you have the same situation that I mentioned before, how if you continued, then you probably would have gotten the result that you wanted. Because right now your hair strand looks like the banana, right? The banana, and then you have one tiny strand here and one tiny strand here, one tiny strand here. But if you went ahead and did maybe a couple more splits here and there, following the same shape that you have, maybe thinking about of the hair twisting. You see, like in this case, you have this hair coming out of here like this, right? It's very short compared to the rest of the hair. And also very pointy. If you just make it a little bit longer like that, it already looks more like it's part of the whole rest of the hair. So we can do that. And then, like here, you could also go in and add more, still following your structure, but experimenting a little bit what we can do. Like maybe we can make it twist, maybe we can try and see if we can, I don't know, just make your hand go and experiment like that a little bit. That's what I usually do for side hair. For these hair strands, for example, if we keep on thinking about the head, we can see how this hair kind of comes from here. Although the hairline should be somewhere here, around here. Trying to remember where the center of the head is and where the hairline is as you draw. Same goes for this other hair, right? You see how it's going here? Like where is it attaching to? You can try and keep the general shape like that and then curve it after. So basically just making it more towards the center up here. So here what I'm trying to do is, because you have these two hair strands that are about the same length, it's giving me this feeling of zigzag, right? If we try and vary it a little bit, so instead of 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, right, it's two equal pieces on the side of a central one. And because this is hair, it's making it look a little bit stiff. I can try and break down that pattern a little bit. So now I have this one that ends up here and this one that ends down here. It feels a little bit more natural. For the hair on this side, you could also do a little bit more of details, probably. also noticing that like here the hair here is very thick, here it gets thinner and here it gets thicker. It does give a little bit of a weird look, so maybe making it all thicker could help. Trying to keep the hair width the same. It makes sense if you do that, for example, here, because this hair here, it's like it's twisting. So here it becomes thinner because it's twisted. And then it comes back to the front. But to help this the twisted look, you can add some strands on the sides like this. I'm trying to imagine this like a twisted ribbon. So this is one side of the ribbon, then here it twists and this is the other side, and here it twists again and it's the other side. It's going like this, and then it's coming from here. One thing that I found when you're drawing hair is that if you make a mess, it's okay. It's actually better. You can make a mess. You see, now that hair there was kind of breaking the shape a little bit because we have the twist here like this, so either you make it come out from here or add it like this instead might be better. And same for this other side. Keep the shape that you have, but try to add strands. Same idea goes for the back hair, but I'm not gonna do it now because it's behind and it will take me a long time. What you have now is a long strand and a couple of little strands like this. If you made it more twisty, it will probably immediately look better, and you could split it in 2 strands rather than 1. Instead of having a single big banana, let's say my hair is starting from here and I make a curve like that. So I have this that is strand number 1, and then I could have one that kind of twists together with it, and it's a strand number 2. And then you go from there. Now you can still also give a little look at this. You will notice right away that we need to tilt this a little bit because right now it's not following the head shape. What did you ask for? Also the clothes? No, the body. I could say that the pose, you could have done it differently, right? It doesn't look very relaxed. If you look at the picture of someone in real life sitting like this, their arms go out like this. Because this will be a workout. But for this you need to look at in real life pictures of people to understand that. Body shines and textures. Okay. I see that the way you shaded the body, you have blended everything. I feel like you should try to start with hard shadows and lights instead, and blend only after, because the way that you did right now, having all of the shadows kind of blurred, it doesn't give shape to the leg and to the body in general. So we have to think of where the light is coming from, and here in theory it's from up here because I see the shadow here. Kind of is coming from the front and above. We have this side that is a bit in shadow, but also the knee. And once we have these, we can go and blur it. As you can see, I'm struggling now because I don't have a very great idea in my brain how this body part looks like, so let's look for a reference. This is a 3D model, but it could help. It's literally the same position. Also, like the shadows here that you have for the frills, for example. These ones, it's very easy to keep them a harsher shadow because you just have to follow their shape. Then you go over and blur just a tiny little bit here and there. If I can say something about the frills as well, the same idea as the hair, where you have like this up, down, right? If you try to break it a little bit more, it can look more dynamic. So first of all, I will adjust the shape of this because it needs to reach the arm, since this is elastic to wrap around the arm. Then I can go ahead and edit the bottom part of the frills. Maybe I make this bigger and now I go up, but actually I go down, and then I make it twist around like this, and then I do a little bit of variation. Also for the boobies, the same thing. So you start probably by drawing this shadow here, then by adding this other shadow on this side, and then only after you have this, you blur a little bit. If you want, just think of this as a sphere and add the highlight there. Yeah, it's just literally the highest point of the thing. Maybe a little bit of reflection on the side as well can make it look more shiny. Boobas! Here maybe you could have added some folds. That would probably create if someone was sitting like this with a skirt like this. You need to look at references for this, because right now, as you can see, my folds look a little bit random. With a reference, you definitely will have a better result. Okay. Okay, the next one that we have is from Gary. They said, my favorite piece so far this year. It's going to be live 3D animated at some point as well, but any tips on how to make this even better would be great. Congrats for the 2 years as partner. Thank you. It is an amazing artwork, first of all. My first impression is that the eyes on the sides are so much brighter than the character. And now I'm exaggerating, of course, but it's almost like I'm not seeing the character because I'm seeing the eyes. They are so much brighter. We could try and add like a brighter light around the character to make it stand out more. Imagining that the eyes are making this shinier light. I'm trying to think of ways to make her pop out, because it's getting lost. The attention is much more towards the eyes. I'm also thinking that maybe making the whole background a little bit darker could help. In these cases, you can add the new correction layer on top of everything and bring the saturation down. Right, if I turn on this background darkening, I can see that the character stands out much more compared like this, that the character is basically the same brightness of the background. I'm also noticing a little bit that I think the face of the character should be more in light, because if the boobas and the torso are being lit from like top right, then we should probably have light also here, like the opposite of what's here right now. Okay, this is all. The artwork is super amazing already, so I literally the only thing was this, just adding a bit more contrast between the background and the character, honestly. That's it. Thank you for your submission! Next, we have Pronoes. I'll be honest, I'm really proud of this one. It's a VTuber model with toggles, but I wanted to get a review of the art on its own. Okay, it is a pretty simple artwork. Like, we have gradients, but not really shading. The first thing that comes to my eye is the way that the character is holding the sword is a little bit weird. because the hand is in this direction, but the sword is in this direction, right? If I was holding my hand like this, then I will probably have this angle at most, not this angle, right? So I think you have a problem with the arm being too much bent. I think if you just make the arm go more out, you will immediately fix this. I'm thinking that you could probably benefit a little bit from doing some line variation, because the sword and the character are feeling like a one single thing, because the lines have the same width, and they also have very similar colors, so it almost looks like this arm is kind of becoming the sword. So if you go ahead and make the inner lines thinner, so keeping the outside ones thicker, but make the inner ones a little bit thinner, maybe it can help with that. So if it's part of the character, you do like this, and it's more clear that is the character. Instead, if it's part of the sword, you make this line thicker to separate it from it. This is also more of a stylistic choice, but you could consider lifting the hair a little bit, because this is the head, right? Right now it's like the top of the head is flat. You could consider raising the hair a little bit. At this point, depending on how you want the character to look like, you could move the eyebrows a little bit up, or leave the eyebrows where they are and lift the hair, because where the eyebrows are right now, you cannot see them. If you really wanted to have the sword stand out a bit more, to make it really clear the difference, you could also maybe add a shine around it. Maybe break it here and there, where it's not that much needed. Okay, we have the before and after. So, in general, you got a very good design. I like it. Just some work to make it stand out more from the sword is good. And making the forehead a little bit taller. The only thing that I think maybe is bothering me just a little bit more is that how you have these lines that are all converging here. Maybe drawing the hand here would have been better. Okay, just remember, line variation and the other things. Okay, let me save. So these are final results. We have CoreXion character design. We just added some shadows, fixed it a little bit the light direction, added some creases here and there. Not a lot of difference, but helps in having a more structured shading. For Lavaboy specifically, wanted to know more about how to make hair more detailed and how to improve in general also the skin shading. It is a bit scribbly, but the concept is there. For Gary, the changes were very tiny, just make the character pop out a little bit more from the background by making the background darker and adding a rim light, and then I edited just a little bit the light on the face because I think that should have been like that. Pronoes, we just edited the line weight a little bit to make the character stand out more from the sword, as well as edited the arm pose to make it look more natural, and lifted the forehead a little bit so that the eyebrows will be visible. That's all for today's Sneaky's art review. I hope that the tips were helpful for you as well, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more art content. I will try to post every 2 weeks long-form videos, and I will see you on my next live stream. Bye bye!